All right, so so they were going deep, really deep, into a world where, well, the familiar kind of bumps up against the unexplained.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. We're doing a deep dive on a chapter from The Dreamer's Journey, exploring lucid dreams and subconscious awareness.
Oh, right, yeah.
And get this, the author says they've had dreams that actually, predict real-life events.
Really?
And then, hold on, it gets even wilder. They get into, lucid dreaming as a way to tap into, a deeper kind of consciousness.
Wow. That's something else. I mean, we hear a lot about dreams being like metaphors and all.
Right.
But this is like a direct link
It is.
between dreams and reality. Unbelievable, almost.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And what I find really fascinating is how the author kind of goes on this personal journey, They started just, curious about dreams.
Yeah.
And they end up in this whole other realm that, well, really makes you question what we even know about consciousness. So let's break down these early experiences with what they call predictive dreams.
Okay.
They talk about having dreams that foreshadow events, both good and bad. And the accuracy, it's startling. We're not talking vague feelings or whatever.
Right.
They actually dream about specific events, some even involving death or betrayal, that later on happen.
Wow. That level of detail, that's got to be something.
It's intense. And you can imagine they were hesitant to share these dreams at first.
Oh, I bet. Especially the heavier ones.
Right.
Can you imagine having a dream that predicts something bad, something really bad,
Right.
and then actually seeing it happen?
It would be a lot to carry.
Heavy, yeah.
But here's where it gets even, weirder.
Okay.
The author's mother.
Yeah.
She also had these precognitive dreams. And get this, when the author moved away from their childhood home, the one they shared with their mom, those precognitive dreams, they seem to decrease.
Oh, wow. Now that really makes you think.
It does.
Could there be a connection to a shared energy?
Right.
Or maybe the environment?
Maybe. Some researchers actually suggest that certain places can be, more open to psychic phenomena.
That's interesting.
So maybe their shared home had something about it that amplify their abilities,
That's a thought. Or maybe it was just having another person, someone who has the same kind of experiences.
Right.
Maybe their presence somehow made them more sensitive
Yeah.
to these things.
It really makes you wonder if it's more than just a coincidence,
Yeah.
Could this be, a glimpse into a shared subconscious awareness?
Could be.
Or maybe some kind of sensitivity to something beyond our normal senses, something that, science can't really explain yet.
That's a good point. It does make you think twice about things.
It does.
What we might just dismiss as coincidence in one situation, it could actually be a recurring pattern.
Right.
In a different context.
Yeah.
It all depends on the person and their environment. And this really shows how important personal context is when you're studying these kinds of things.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about the author's exploration of lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Now, at first, they were just curious. They wanted to know what it felt like to have that level of control
Yeah.
and awareness in their dreams.
Makes sense. Lucid dreaming it's fascinating.
It is.
I mean, to know you're dreaming while you're still in the dream,
Right.
it opens up a whole world of possibilities.
It does.
But, like the author found out, it also comes with some unexpected challenges.
Yeah, definitely. Things took a bit of a dark turn when they started having these really intense nightmares during their lucid dreams.
Those mirrors.
Yeah, they described them as incredibly overwhelming, a feeling of their life force draining from their body.
Oh, wow.
Being trapped in this void of awareness. Not your typical scary dream,
No, that sounds pretty intense. It's more than just a bad dream, right? These are visceral experiences, almost out of body. That really had a deep impact.
They did.
It really challenges how we usually think about dreams, just being mental things.
Right.
It suggests they could actually interact with our physical and energetic selves in ways we don't fully understand.
Yeah. And waking up from these nightmares wasn't easy either.
Really?
They describe it as a struggle for their mind to regain control. Almost like it was resisting this newfound awareness within the dream.
That's really interesting. It suggests there's this kind of dynamic between our conscious and subconscious minds.
Right.
Especially when we get into lucid dreaming.
Right.
It's like the mind is Well, it's captivated by the potential of heightened awareness, but it's also afraid of what it might mean.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder that there are still mysteries.
There are.
Within ourselves that we haven't figured out yet.
We haven't. But, even with all these challenges, the author was incredibly resourceful.
Oh, yeah.
They came up with techniques like, switching their watch to their other wrist before going to sleep.
What?
So they could check which wrist it was on in the dream and know for sure if they were awake or not.
Clever. That's a classic technique.
It is.
It's like a reality check. A way to stay grounded in the middle of all the surreal, confusing stuff that happens in dreams.
Yeah, it shows how determined they were
to
navigate this uncharted territory.
For sure.
They were willing to experiment.
Yeah.
Find ways to stay in control.
Yeah.
Even when facing the unsettling parts of their subconscious.
That takes guts. And it's clear that these experiences really changed the author.
They did.
Shaped their beliefs about consciousness.
Yeah.
And the nature of reality itself.
They even suggest that our current state of awareness, what we think of as being awake and aware, might actually be some kind of protective mechanism.
A protective mechanism?
Yeah. They hint at a deeper consciousness that exists beyond the physical world.
Wow, that's a mind-blowing concept. To think that what we experience as reality might just be a tiny part of what's really possible. It makes you question the limits.
It does.
We put on ourselves.
It does.
What if there's a whole universe of consciousness inside us?
Right.
Just waiting to be explored.
Yeah, and the author isn't just thinking about this deeper consciousness.
No.
They're actually going after it.
They are.
They want to keep exploring lucid dreaming.
Wow.
And their goal is to reach, get this, the alpha state.
The alpha state.
Yeah, they believe it'll let them directly communicate with their subconscious.
Now that's where things get really interesting.
They do.
The alpha state, it's characterized by specific brainwave frequencies.
Right.
And it's associated with deep relaxation, meditation, heightened creativity.
Yeah.
It's where the line between our conscious and subconscious minds gets blurry.
Yeah.
And some researchers believe it could be a gateway.
It's a gateway.
Yeah, to accessing deeper levels of intuition and insight.
So they're basically using their own mind as a lab.
Exactly. They're not just watching their dreams go by.
Right.
They're engaging with them, trying to understand how they work and unlock their full potential. It's a bold and fascinating approach.
It really is. And the first question they want to ask their subconscious, well, it's a big one.
What is it?
They want to know why we would even need physical bodies if our awareness can do so much more.
That's a question for the ages.
Yeah.
It's something people have been wondering about for centuries.
Right.
Philosophers, spiritual seekers, they've all asked, what's the point of our physical existence? If our consciousness can potentially go beyond the limits of the material world.
It's a profound question.
It is. And the author's approach, seeking answers through direct experience.
Right.
Through lucid dreaming. It's unique. It's potentially groundbreaking.
It's like they're on this scientific and spiritual quest at the same time.
Yeah. Using the power of their own mind.
Right.
To unlock the mysteries of consciousness itself.
It's inspiring, really.
Wow.
It highlights how powerful personal experience and exploration can be.
It does make you think maybe we all have the potential to uncover these deeper truths.
Yeah.
If we're willing to venture into the unknown parts of ourselves.
The unknown parts of ourselves.
It really is. And, going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's pretty amazing the author's courage to face those darker parts of their dream.
Yeah, those unsettling bits.
It would be so easy to just, shy away from all that.
Right. Those shadows of the subconscious.
Especially when they're so vivid, so disturbing.
It's true. And it's not easy to confront those shadowy parts of ourselves, is it?
Not at all.
But this author, they don't back down from the fear, the uncertainty. That comes with, exploring those uncharted territories.
They don't. They even talk about feeling this resistance from their own mind. Like it's struggling with this new awareness.
Like it's pushing back.
Yeah, like it's trying to protect itself.
Protect itself.
From being overwhelmed by the sheer vastness of the subconscious.
That's an interesting way to put it.
But at the same time, there's this pull.
Towards
the potential for a deeper understanding.
I get that. The promise of something more.
Exactly.
And what I find so impressive is that the author keeps going.
They do.
They don't give up. They come up with strategies, like the watch trick. Remember that?
Right, right.
To stay grounded, to stay in control, even in the dream world.
It shows real intention, a real will to shape their experiences.
Even in the unpredictable world of dreams.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, do we all have that potential
For.
to tap into those deeper levels of awareness? To shape our dreams? The author seems to think so.
They do paint a picture of a much bigger picture.
Right. They suggest that what we're aware of right now in this moment, it's just a small part of what's possible.
A fraction.
Like we're seeing the tip of the iceberg.
And there's this whole universe underneath.
A whole universe of consciousness inside us waiting to be explored.
Think about what that could mean.
I am. It's a big thought.
If our dreams are more than just images,
Yeah.
could they be like gateways?
Gateways to.
A deeper understanding
Right.
of ourselves, of reality, a place where the lines between the physical and the non-physical, they blur.
It's a mind-bending idea, and it's especially intriguing for those of us who are drawn to the unexplained.
Absolutely. It challenges us to rethink the limits we put on ourselves, to embrace the possibility that there's so much more beneath the surface, just waiting to be discovered. And the author doesn't just stop at exploring their own dreams, do they?
No, they don't. They've got goals. Big goals.
They do, and they believe lucid dreaming holds the key.
That's right. Their ultimate goal is to understand this connection between our physical bodies and our consciousness.
The mind-body connection.
Exactly. And they think lucid dreaming can help them do that.
They specifically mention the alpha state, right?
They do. They believe it will allow them to talk directly to their subconscious mind.
Direct communication.
That's the idea. Now, the alpha state, it's fascinating. It's associated with those specific brainwave frequencies. Deep relaxation,
meditation,
heightened creativity. Some studies even suggest that in this state, we're more open to subconscious insights.
Like a bridge.
Exactly, a bridge between the conscious and the subconscious. And that's the bridge the author is trying to cross.
So in a way, they're using their own mind as a lab.
That's a great way to put it. They're not just observing, they're experimenting.
Testing those boundaries.
Pushing the limits of what we know about consciousness.
And that first question they want to ask, it's a big one.
It is. What is it?
Why would we even need a body if our awareness can do so much more?
That's the age-old question, isn't it? It's been pondered for centuries.
By philosophers, by spiritual seekers.
Exactly. What is the purpose of this physical existence if our consciousness can go beyond it, can transcend the material world?
It's a big question.
It is. And the author's approach is unique. They're not looking for answers in books or theories.
Where are they looking?
Inward. Through direct experience, through their own mind.
Through lucid dreaming.
Exactly. It's a deep dive into the unknown, a personal quest for answers. What's so compelling is that they're bridging the gap between the subjective world of dreams and the objective world of science. They're using their experiences to shed light on the mysteries of consciousness, offering a perspective that could change how we understand who we are and what's truly possible.
It's a path that's open to all of us, isn't it?
It is. The author's story is a reminder that we can all explore these deeper realms, challenge our assumptions, and discover a whole new dimension of reality within ourselves.
It's an invitation to dive into the unknown, isn't it?
It is. To embrace the mysteries that await. Who knows what we might find when we start listening to those whispers from our subconscious?
Maybe we'll find that the universe within is just as vast and wondrous as the universe outside.
Maybe we will. And maybe, just maybe, we'll uncover some hidden truths about ourselves and the nature of existence along the way.
Wow, we've really covered some ground today.
We have.
Dreams, precognitive experiences, lucid dreaming. It's like we've peeked behind the curtain.
Into a whole other reality, one that's right there, but we usually don't see it.
Exactly. And what we're learning from the author, well, it suggests that this inner world, it might be just as big and mysterious as the one outside, full of, well, wonders and possibilities we can barely imagine.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
What does all this mean for us, the listeners? How can we use these ideas in our own lives?
Yeah, good question.
Even if, we don't have dreams that predict the future or haven't quite mastered lucid dreaming.
That's the thing. I think the author's journey, it shows us how important it is to pay attention to our dreams.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah, even the ones that seem kind of boring. They're not just like random brain activity.
No.
They can actually give us a look into our subconscious minds.
Really?
Yeah, our fears, desires, even, hidden potential.
So even if our dreams aren't like telling us the future.
Right.
They can still tell us something about ourselves.
Exactly. They can show us patterns, emotional states, things we haven't dealt with.
Things bubbling under the surface.
Yeah, and that's why keeping a dream journal can be so helpful.
You mean just write down our dreams?
As soon as you wake up.
Yeah.
Even if they're just bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It can help you see those themes, those symbols, the feelings that might be affecting you without you even realizing it.
Makes sense. And what about lucid dreaming? Any tips for people who want to try that?
Well, the author's watch trick, that's a great example. A reality check.
A way to know if you're dreaming or not.
Right. But there are other techniques too.
Oh, yeah.
Like doing reality checks during the day, setting intentions before bed, using meditation to become more mindful, which can help in your dreams too. It's about training your mind to notice those little changes in awareness.
The ones that tell you you're dreaming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember, lucid dreaming, it takes practice.
Ah, like any skill.
Right. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen right away.
To keep trying.
Yeah. Keep experimenting. Find what works for you.
And be patient. The author's story, it shows us that exploring the subconscious, it can be tough.
It can.
Even a little scary sometimes.
Right.
But it can also be incredibly rewarding. It can lead to a much deeper understanding of ourselves and, well, of reality itself.
So for those of you who are drawn to this kind of exploration, do your research. Find resources that speak to you and start your own journey.
Your own journey of self-discovery through the world of dreams.
And remember, the author's experiences, as incredible as they are, they're just one perspective. Your journey will be your own.
Unique.
And what you discover, it'll be invaluable. So keep dreaming, keep exploring.
And who knows, maybe you'll find, like the author suggests, that our consciousness, it's far more expansive and interconnected than we ever thought possible.
And on that note, that's a wrap on today's deep dive. Keep those minds curious.
And those dreams alive.
Until next time.